So when it comes to life decisions, good or bad, none is more important than your choice of spouse. And this is my spouse. This is Jamie. Jamie, welcome to the video. And today we're going to be talking about questions that you should ask your spouse. And there's a little bit of a story here, so stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to another episode of The One Row. My name is David, and this is Jamie. This is my wife.
Hey, guys.
So Jamie has been on a lot of our prior content type, but she's not been on the new content very much. So today she's agreed to come on, and I've got 10 questions that we're going to go through to learn a little more about each other.
I feel like I'm already blushing.
I know. Now, these aren't like, honestly, like these aren't like super meaningful or deep. These are more fun questions, but that's part of, when you have a spouse, when you're getting married, it's important to find somebody that you can have fun with, right? Like that's important.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be around them a lot. And obviously you don't want to marry somebody you're not attracted to. You don't want to marry somebody that irritates you. You don't want to marry somebody that's a stick in the mud.
You're attracted to me, David? Wow.
Used to be. Anyway.
Shocking.
I know. Anyway, but this is more of a fun video. So let's just dive right into it. If you end up enjoying this content though, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Jamie, the first question, I got my handy little cheat sheet here.
Whew. And
you haven't seen these questions yet. So Jamie, would you rather stay in or go out for a date night?
Wow.
Now, before you answer that question, I'm going to cut you off. Before you answer the question, first of all, when we stay in for a date night, I cook for you, and I'm a good cook. And she knows, like, when I cook, it's special, and she's going to like it. But when we go out, we also have a lot of fun, too. So go ahead.
Go out.
Okay, she'd rather go out than eat my cooking.
And there's explanation behind that, too. I love going out. I love when we go to see 80s cover bands. I love dancing. I love dancing with our friends and, having some drinks. And, but there is that but there is I like to go out like one night.
In a weekend, not Friday and Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
one night she likes to split the difference. She likes to do both. But I would say going out, we're definitely more of the going out type.
For sure, yeah.
In our relationship, we have a lot of fun when we go out.
We're just not the party animal type.
Well, we're getting older and we slow down a little bit.
Anyway, I'm only getting younger, David.
Fair enough. You're going backwards. I'm definitely going forwards, as you can tell by my beard being almost ghost white now.
I mean, one of us has to take it for the
one of
team.
us has got to take it for the team. All right, Jamie, would you rather be a movie star or a famous musician?
A famous musician.
Really? I'm the same. I thought you'd say movie star.
No, because I would rather create beautiful music
me too.
than actually get up there and just kind of have I feel like, especially after we were in Punta Cana and our first night there, we heard this young girl play the cello with songs that we were very familiar with. She was awesome.
Yeah.
And that inspired me, not to go out and be like a celloist or anything, but the music really inspired me. And I feel like comparable to like being a famous movie actor or something, that I would love to inspire people with music.
I think that would be my thing too, would definitely be the famous musician.
Yeah.
Or is it famous musician? Yeah, famous musician. I don't even care about the fame part. I would just love the talent and skill to be able to make music well. Mm-hmm. I'm really sad that you're not inspired to start playing the cello because I actually ordered one and it should be yours. Anyway. All right, moving on to question number 3. Would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors or go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren?
Great-great-grandchildren.
100%. I knew you'd say that, and I'm 100%.
You knew I would say that.
Yeah, but see, I'd want to go meet my great-great-grandchildren, not because they're my great-grandchildren, because I want to see what happens in the future. Like, I mean, seeing the great-grandchildren, I mean, see, that's so far in the future.
You would really be like, with your great-great-grandchildren, you'd be like, you're wearing that? You're doing what? And I would just be like, oh my gosh, I want hugs. Here's a 20 for you. Here's a 20 for you. Go shopping.
I know. And they're like, yeah, grandma, great-great-grandma, the $20 is like, buys a stick of gum now.
I know, they probably...
Inflation's been rough, grandma. Anyway. All right, number 4. Would you rather always speak your mind or never speak again? you always speak your mind. You have to. You compulsively speak your mind, or you never speak again.
That can be kind of go either way. Speaking your mind. I'll say speak your mind.
Okay, I'm the opposite. I would prefer to never speak again than to always speak my mind. I guess that says something about my judgment of people.
I feel like that could go either way, because sometimes there's very much important things, and if you don't speak up, then nothing changes. True. But then there's also some things that you say out of not, well, it's like you don't mean certain things, so you don't always want to speak your mind in that sense, because it could hurt feelings. It could change the course of the future, in your life. So yeah, I don't know. I'm torn with that one.
Yeah, this one reminds me of that movie with Jim Carrey, Liar, where he literally has to see.
That's a great movie.
In that one, it's like he can't not speak. So it's like he can never not speak, even though the movie's called Liar. He can't tell a lie. But actually, in that movie, it's more about he always has to speak his mind. Like he gets in the elevator and he starts saying this stuff to this woman. He can just keep his mouth closed,
right,
and not lie. Anyway, but yeah, I would definitely never speak again.
That's an I got you question.
True, fair enough. All right, would you rather put a stop to war or end world hunger?
Oh, how could you make me? So I would say end world hunger.
I actually would say the same thing.
I mean, just because I feel like that's a consistent issue.
Yeah.
And obviously war is something that's pretty serious too, but I'd have to go with that consistent issue. Whereas, war.
So to me, that's
a hard one.
It's a hard one, but in my mind, and this may just play into my view of the world. In some cases, war is justified and necessary, right?
And it can be fixed.
Well, it can be temporary. I mean, it's awful in the moment. War is terrible for those who win, those who lose. War is awful,
right?
But there are times when war is necessary. At least in my opinion. Your opinion may vary, but I feel like sometimes it is necessary, and that when you, like you said, there can be an end to it. We can get to an end to it. Total domination, victory is achievable. War's over. Move on. World hunger is
consistent, never ending. It's always been there, and it's it.
Yeah, and a lot of times world hunger is caused by war, right? It's refugees and war and everything else. But I feel like it's also resource mismanagement, and a lot of countries that deal with, food scarcity issues are countries that are stable. They're just horribly mismanaged, and because of that mismanagement, if there was a way to end it, anyway. Yep, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But all right, number 6.
It's getting hot in here.
I know. Number 6. Would you rather give or get bad advice?
Get bad advice.
100%.
I feel like if I get bad advice, I'm the kind of person to do the right thing, regardless of what kind of advice I give. But if I give the wrong advice, I could be giving it to a child that doesn't know any better, or somebody that might not have that kind of
if somebody gives me bad advice, I can filter that through my life experience and maybe make a good decision whether that advice was good or not. If I'm giving bad advice and somebody follows my advice and has a bad outcome, I'd feel terrible. Like that would be awful. So I think
you should.
I think we're on the same page there. All right, number 7. Would you rather fail or never try?
Fail.
100%.
100% fail, because I feel like that is actually the lesson in life of growing. And if you don't fail at things, you never learn to really grow and pick yourself back up, and and then move on and press forward. So
and whether it's career, relationships, personal advice, you got to put yourself out there. You got to take risk, and recognize that when you do fail, it's really just a learning experience so that you do better next time. Because there's no such thing as a life that goes from birth to death in your 70s or 80s or whatever, and you don't fail. So you have to look at failure as a temporary thing that gets you to a better place. because I know I failed many times in my life in a lot of different ways. And
Yeah.
they've all been learning experiences for me to do better, to internalize that and become a better person or be more successful in business or whatever.
It's okay. I'm here to catch you when you fail again.
Unless you're what I fail on, then that would not be good. But that won't happen. All right, number 8, would you rather work in a group or work alone?
I'm a group person.
Oh, really? I'm alone. I would much rather be alone.
Really?
Yes.
So I feel like in a group, I feel like I'm better because I'm here, like I'm getting everybody's input. And then a group kind of makes you stronger in that way. And I feel like you perform better as well. So I can see what you're saying as far as wanting to be alone, but you're more stubborn where you think you're right.
Because I am.
And
well,
that could go a lot of different ways in somebody else's opinion, but when you have different people putting different input in and making this one big
there's group consensus is powerful.
Exactly.
Got it. So for me, the thing is working in a group is difficult because yes, group consensus is powerful, but I feel like groups are only as strong as their weakest link. And I have a general attitude that, some people have some people are super gifted in certain ways and other people are gifted in other ways. And if we're dealing with a particular problem and you've got people that are not gifted in that problem, their opinion is worth about as much as a bag of sand.
He's a grumpy old man that wants to do it himself.
I know. It reminds me of Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. And he's like, somebody's trying to tell him about whiskey and he's like at Home Depot or something like that. And they're like trying to tell him about and he's just like, I know more about this than you. Like, I don't need your help.
That's you.
Pretty close. Yeah.
I feel like we've been running this marriage based on you working for yourself.
Well, I do work for myself, so that kind of works. All right,
He totally did not get that.
I didn't, but I didn't want to take it the way that you did because that was a very nasty comment, Jamie. How dare you?
David.
How dare you say that on the channel? All right, would you rather have more money or more time?
More time.
They're the same to me. When you have more money, it gives you more time.
That's not an answer.
No, but I mean that's how I feel.
But that's not an answer. You've got to pick one.
Then I mean coin toss because they're the same thing.
I'm going to say more time because I always feel like there's never enough time.
There's never enough time. But for example, if I made a lot more money, I could work less. My total take home would be the same, but I'd have more time.
Work less?
I'd work, 100% I'd work less. You know how much I work. So, so it's kind of, and I even tell my kids this, like.
But don't you ever, see, I'm taking that question as like time. Like I can have all the money in the world, but if I didn't have enough time, now that I'm a certain age, there's so much time that has went by that I felt like I didn't have time. Whereas, missing out on, kids time or
sure.
parent time or, having that kind of, So it's kind of like asking you, what do you want? More time or more money? Because if I had more money, then I might not be who I am today.
Well, maybe not, but it's like a lot of the time that you sacrifice, for example, in the past, is because you had to work for money, because you had a job and you had to work.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you had more money, then that would be less of a priority and you could get a part-time job instead of a full-time job, or you could do this and that and the other to balance it. So it's kind of, it's a give and take.
Okay,
both are the same.
I get what you're saying. I feel like the question should be like, do you want more money or time today? Like,
same thing to me. But
again, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how to change that at all because you can look at it in very many different ways. And
fair enough.
You cheated, so I'm not playing anymore.
Well, we got one more, so you can't quit yet.
I thought that was the last one.
Nope, you can't quit yet. Okay, would you rather hear good news or bad news first?
Bad news.
Bad news, 100%. I want to know the bad news. I want to know how to address it, how to fix it, how to deal with it. Good news is great. I love good news, but it can wait. it can wait. Bad news, I got to know, got to figure it out, got to deal with it.
Yep.
That's just how I am.
Totally agree with it.
All right. Well, those are 10 questions that you can ask your spouse. Now, the whole idea of this video was simply, basically, your spouse is a very important decision, and you got to be able to have fun with them. And we had a little bit of fun, in spite of Jamie's snarky, obnoxious comments. We had a good time. But yeah, if you enjoy this kind of interaction, obviously check out our live streams. Jamie's on our live streams on Thursday nights. Usually it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just us chatting and stuff about different topics.
I kind of feel like I got to know you a little bit better through these questions because some of them I didn't know how you would answer.
Yeah. Now, where can you use these kind of questions? Date nights, right? Yeah. Sit down with your wife over a glass of wine or, on the couch or whatever it might be. Diet Fresca, maybe. Maybe you want a Fresca with your spouse. Whatever the case may be, sit down. You guys can have just a good time just hanging out and talking, just, going through these random questions. And you never saw the questions, but you sent me a link to some questions. And some of them were a little bit spicy, if you know what I'm saying, couples questions. So you take the spicy angle as well. But we didn't want to do that to y'all and make y'all listen to that kind of stuff.
I read the first 2 questions, and then you were like, what in the world?
Yeah, I
read like question 4 or 5, and it was like, oh, I didn't realize that.
We're not going to put that one on camera.
Yeah, I don't want to blush any more than I'm already doing with this whole thing.
Yeah, so after that, I went and found all new questions. But anyway.
Good job, David.
Thank you. If you ended up enjoying this, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And we'll see you next time.